Thank you for staying with us. At this time, we like to talk about the state of the nation, especially the security and what we are witnessing in Nigeria. Almost on a daily, you get to hear one report or the other. But if you followed us when we were going through different pages of different papers, you saw and you heard different reports, especially about what has happened in Benue, what is happening in in Plateau as well. Many things that are being seen and are being witnessed, very terrible things. And another dimension is the killing of men of the armed forces and even the paramilitary men, civilian JTF and all of them, and in which there is a report that talked about the numbers, especially in recent times, where a report said gunmen have killed 53 security men in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And that's a terrible thing to just hear that is the way, the people that are supposed to be protecting us. Yes, we know it's a very difficult job in which life may be snuffed out of them at any moment. But then is this the way we are supposed to be losing our gallant men and women, to these criminals running, skater? And you see on the screen some of those people that are responsible at a peace deal, peace situation, whatever, if that is a peace deal that has been held at all. You can see them, many of them wielding very dangerous weapons, as you have on the screen right now. And this was according to data compiled by Daily Trust, and all, a media newspaper rather outlet and with the figure capturing reported cases. The victims included soldiers, police officers, personnel of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, immigration and custom officers, vigilantes, members of the JTF and state community watch groups. And according to the report from Daily Trust, while many of the victims were killed by gunmen while responding to attacks on communities, others were gunned down at security checkpoints and outposts. The latest incident occurred in Benue and Kogi State, where 7 police officers and other operatives were killed in separate gun attacks last Friday and yesterday, respectively. In addition to the fatality, several security personnel were also abducted in the Benue incident. And in the Benue incident, 11 security operatives were feared killed by gunmen during a joint clearance operation around the Agu Center general area in Imbatula, Imbarev Council ward of Kasina Alaliki government area. And these are the things that we are seeing. And as of Sunday afternoon, that was 3 days ago, 3 bodies had been recovered while 8 operatives remain missing. Why was security personnel being easy target for these men? Don't forget, we have had instances, repeated instances of these criminals, bandits, terrorists, attacking military bases. Even, whenever they feel like they just do that. Sometimes they are repelled. Sometimes they have casualties on their side. But according to this report, 52 of our security operatives have been killed in just 14 days. As of Sunday, this is what we are seeing. This time we have a security consultant and expert to look into these for us. What message is being passed by these criminals on our lands? Chuks Maha Dr. Chuks Maha joins us, and he has been with us. Thank you for joining us, Doctor. Dr. Chuks Maha, if you can hear me. Good morning. All right, we'll try and reconnect with Dr. Maha. Daniel, this is where we are.
Quite unfortunate.
Yeah, okay, can you pick me up now?
All right, Daniel? Yes, we can hear you now. Hope you can hear us as well.
Yeah, loud and clear, loud
All
and
clear. 52 security men killed in the last 2 weeks. That's disturbing, isn't it?
Yes, in fact, the figure has increased now. I'll say about 55, 56.
How disturbing is that for you?
It is, but there are reasons why. We've been talking about this. Everybody talks about it, but nobody is doing nothing about it. Civilian lives are lost, but but now we're just aggregating the numbers of the military, paramilitary, who are there to protect the civilians. So if the civilian figure is this high, you could then imagine what the ratio will be to the civilian populace that have lost their lives. That is the key thing here. So we need to know that. What are the reasons for this? It's not far-fetched. And of course, we need to do something to stem it.
What are those reasons, Doctor, if you may?
Well, first and foremost, I say, and I stand to be corrected, if I can be corrected on it, that most of these insurgents or bandits, as you choose to call them, wherever they're coming from, whether they're local or the foreign ones, have amongst them either ex-servicemen or 7 men. Either those still in service or ex-disgruntled. Either they've joined the insurgents or the bandits for money, or they believe in their ideology, or they're under blackmail, or whatever it is. And that has given them not just the impunity to be able to attack our military or security installations, but have the know-how on how to penetrate. Because that is the issue we should talk about. How do they get the information when to attack and how to attack? That's the thing, if there's no insider. So it then tells us there should be a mole or so many moles, what we might call snitches, saboteurs within the security agencies that give these people information, known as informants. That's one leg. The second leg is the issue of training. Apart from the military, I dare say if any other security agency spends money and time on training officers and men of their agency, apart from the military, I know. Now, do they go to the range? Do they go to practice shooting? Do they have snipers? How often do they go? Are they ready to spend money on buying ammunition in training? And when you have the training, where do they go for? Do they have exchange trainings in terms of interdepartmental training? When the police goes to the army goes to the Navy, Air Force, apart from what they spend together at the NDA, do they do these joint trainings together? That's one. Two, do they go abroad for trainings? Does the budget allow them within these agencies to go abroad for trainings? And again, where you have a situation where you have the trainee, where you train 1 or 2 officers abroad, they come back and return, they train others here. So there's so much that can be said. And again, last but not the least, is the issue of firepower. I'll stop here. Then we keep going. Firepower.
All right, Dr. Maha, it's quite worrisome. According to a Daily Trust report, between January 2023 and October 2024, about 229 personnel of the Nigeria Police Force were killed by bandits, terrorists, what have you. 229 within that period, January 2023 to October 2024, which is quite worrisome. But again, Dr. Maha, let's take a look at Benue State. In Benue State alone, according to the Governor Hyacinth Alia, who gave a report on the 5th of September 2025, he said, within the past year, within the past 12 months, 76 security operatives were killed in Benue State alone, in one state alone. Coming from the governor himself, that was September 5. Now the figure has gone up. It's now over 80 as we speak. Over 80 security operatives killed in Benue State alone. Dr. Maha, you would recall that right on this platform, when our security operatives made some gains, and we celebrated them right here, we commended them, I still remember vividly. But are you not worried, Dr. Maha, that it seems as though we are taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back as far as security is concerned in Nigeria?
Yeah, let's take, for instance, we're using Benue, which is our case study. We can use as a learning point for other states and governors and other security apparatus to learn from. The question should be, how much has a governor spent on security within his state? That is one. It's one thing to cry, I need so many policemen, I need so many soldiers to come to my state to aid in fixing my state in terms of security. The next thing is, the men are there. What do you do for them to boost their morale, to encourage them to go down to carry out these feats you want them to do? Now, monies have to be spent. You're going to buy ballistic helmets, ballistic vests, better known as bulletproof vests, but of level 4, to be able to withstand the kind of firepower that will be coming. Are we ready to do that? Are you ready to get some instructors to do some quick joint training for them before they go out and you send them further on? Either to get trainers from either from the Nigerian Army or the Navy or the Air Force to come down to assist you, to help you do this, and from then you can then push them forward. That is the issue we need to talk about. It's one thing getting the men, it's another thing equipping them, both with arms and ammunition. I can give a guy an AK rifle, and I only give him 30 rounds of ammunition. He goes down there because of the sharpshooter. He expends 25, random shooting. He's left with 5. What is he going to do with 5? But if he has enough ammunition with him, he can then continue on, and they say, from practice, you get the experience. So that's, to me, is the most important thing.
Dr. Maha, you talked about training, and you also raised the concerns that do we really have enough, is the government spending enough in buying ammunition for training, which is quite important, which is critical. In your own assessment as a security analyst, do you think that our security agents are actually well trained enough? Are they engaged in that kind of training that can make them withstand, these bandits and terrorists? Take, for instance, in the US, we have special forces. We have the SWAT, the special weapons and tactics, that they dispatch when they have, cases like this. Do you think we really have that level of training, the funding required for that in Nigeria at this time?
We have the men. It's a funding that is worrisome to me. Each of the security agencies has a tactical squad team. I can tell you, they may not want to admit that in public, but the issues of funding to increase the number of persons that are in these squads. Funding. Everything security is down to money, naira and kobo, and that is it. If the funding is right, and this is where the issue of the National Assembly comes in. A defense chief comes in and brings his budget. Please allow it go through. All we say at the end of the day is that they should come and give account of the monies which were accorded or awarded to them. Where they cannot, then you can then face them to face whatever budgetary inquiries they might have to face. But please don't cut down on the funding of the military. Military, I mean, both military and paramilitary. They need the money. The money is needed, not just the issue of salaries, not just for the procurement of arms, but the use of these arms and training. Training is key. If you don't train a person, you don't expect much from him or her. And that's, to me, the key words.
All right. And, because of time, this conversation will still be, further discussed in the committees. But before we let you go, one thing has always been bothering my mind, and I'm sure that is the case with many Nigerians. What audacity, I think I've asked you this before in the past, what is the audacity that these banditries, criminals, what audacity do they have to take on? It's a different thing when they are ambushed. It's a different thing, maybe there's a crossfire, but some of them, they plan, they go to attack, just like I said, we have seen issues, situations where these criminals go on to attack army bases, military bases, some formations, and they go ahead. Sometimes they are successful, they kill our men, take weapons, and they repeat that over and over. What is that audacity? What is that thing that gives them that aura to think they can do it, and they have been getting away with it?
Yes, and I'll tell you, it's very simple. The rules of engagement within the various agencies may differ, but they are basically almost the same. You cannot open fire unless you are given an order. Until the order is given to you, you cannot. So we need to either rewrite the rules of engagement or give them a special brief to say, if for any reason your location or installation is being or is under attack, you don't wait for any order from anybody. Open fire. And that's the thing. So that's the thing. You need to, because they're all discipline agencies. They're not like, I won't call them clubs, as it were. They follow rules and regulation. That's the thing. And everybody accounts for his ammunition. So if you expend a bullet, you will be ready to account for it. But if you now give a blank order, if you're under attack, please open fire, defend the location to the last man standing. That's one. What I want to say here, to avoid things from happening, I've said before on this forum, our service chiefs have sat alone too long in Abuja. They should be sent out. Sent out and go and form offices in the northeast, northwest, south, or southeast and southwest. They should divide themselves out. Take it just to be led by one service chief. You take men from various agencies to be led by one service chief. This is to ensure we have a blend. And once we do that, when you now say, oh, the chief of naval staff is now based in Sokoto, that's where his office is, to repel all attacks coming from the northwest. The chief of army staff is now based in the northeast, in Maiduguri, and that's where it's going to be permanently until the situation comes back to normalcy, or we declare a state of emergency in the northern part of the country.
All right.
And I've said before on this program, on your folder here, all governors in the north, in fact, we're not going to stop governors in the north, since the threat has now come down to Kwara and now as close as Osun State, all governors in Nigeria should come together to discuss just one thing: security. I don't know what to discuss in the National Assembly, but that is the only thing we need to be discussed.
All right, Dr.
And all come together.
All right, Dr. Maha. Just before you leave, as a security analyst, in the short run, I mean, what do you think our security agencies can do just to curb these unnecessary killings of our operatives? Because if the lives of our security operatives are not safe, then what happens to the citizens? So, in the short term, what can be done to at least curb these incessant killings of security operatives in Nigeria?
Yes, the National Security Advisor should give a clear order. Terms of reference should be crystal clear, not ambiguous. Clear order from the presidency. This is what the president wants, and take it down like that. And with it, it's dovetailed down to the last man in the agency, and he or she knows what to do. That is the only way out.
All right. We want to sincerely thank you as a security consultant and analyst, Dr. Chuks Maha, for your time today. This is one conversation that we'll keep having until we see significant changes and permanent one. Thank you, Doctor, for your time.
Well, thank you, Femi, and thank you, Dan.
All right. We go on a quick break. When we return, we talk some politics. Very interesting. Stay with us.